Hi everyone, this lesson will be about the properties of arithmetic. So this lesson will review the properties of arithmetic, and arithmetic commonly refers to math topics such as addition, subtraction, and multiplication and division. And with these rules, you'll be ready to start the other concepts and topics of prealgebra. First, we have addition. And addition involves combining two or more numbers together. There are three main properties of addition. First, the commutative property, which states that if x and y are numbers, then x plus y equals y plus x. This property states that the order in which we add numbers doesn't matter. We also have the associative property, which states that if x, y, and z are numbers, then x plus parentheses y plus z equals parentheses x plus y plus z. This property states that the way we group numbers when adding doesn't matter. And lastly, we have the identity property, which states that if 0 is added to any number, then the answer doesn't change. Now subtraction. Subtraction is the opposite of addition. Since addition is combining numbers, subtraction involves finding the difference or taking away. Subtraction doesn't follow the same properties as addition. First of all, there is no commutative property of subtraction, because the order in which we subtract numbers does matter. There is also no associative property, because the way we group numbers for subtraction also matters. However, there is the identity property of subtraction, which states that subtracting 0 from any number does not change the value. Now multiplication. Multiplication is the repeated addition of a certain number. Multiplication follows similar properties to addition, plus a few more. First, the commutative property, which states that if x and y are numbers, then x times y equals y times x. This is similar to the commutative property of addition, which states that the order in which we multiply numbers doesn't matter. Next, the associative property. This property states that if x, y, and z are numbers, then x times parentheses y times z equals parentheses x times y times z. This is also similar to the associative property of addition, and this property states that the way we group numbers when multiplying does not matter. Next, the identity property, which states that if you multiply any number by 1, the number stays the same. Next, the distributive property, which combines both multiplication and addition. This property allows us to multiply a number by a sum or a difference by distributing the multiplication over each term. The zero property of multiplication. This property states that any number multiplied by 0 equals 0. Next, we have division, and division is the opposite of multiplication. Division involves splitting a number into equal parts. Unlike multiplication, division does not follow the commutative or the associative properties. Division also has a few rules for division by different numbers. First, there is no commutative property of division, because the order in which you divide things does matter. There is also no associative property, because the way which you group numbers to divide does matter as well. Next, division by 1. Dividing any number by 1 does not change the value of the number. Next, dividing by itself. Dividing any number by itself equals 1. Division of 0. Dividing 0 over any non-zero number will always be 0. Dividing by 0. Dividing any number by 0 equals undefined, which means it has no real number answer. And that's all. Please make sure to subscribe for more math lessons. Bye!